include Caitlin Clark in the conversation, as I like to do, but we're also going to bring the NFL, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson.
Dick Weiss posted that more Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever jerseys were sold in one day than the Cowboys sold last year for the entire team.
They got this conversation wrong. The ladies, the active players in the WNBA, they haven't screwed up anything.
You've seen Caitlin Clark's insane cross-court assist to Lexie Hull, right? That pass was so ridiculous it made everyone's jaws drop. But here's the thing, that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to their connection. These two are cooking up something special on the court, and it's time we talk about it. Picture this, Clark's got the ball, and in a split second, she launches it across the court. Hull's there, catches it perfectly, and boom, easy bucket. The crowd goes wild. The commentators can't believe it. That's the kind of play that makes you rewind your TV. But you know what's even crazier? This isn't just some one-time thing. Clark and Hull are building something big here. It's like they've got some secret basketball telepathy going on, and trust me, it's about to shake up the entire WNBA. This isn't just about two players clicking, it's bigger than that. We're talking about the future of women's basketball here. Clark and Hull are showing everyone what's possible when you've got talent, teamwork, and a little bit of magic. The WNBA has never seen anything like this before. Now, imagine a world where your teammate is your biggest fan. That's exactly what's happening with Clark and Hull. Their connection goes way beyond assists and three-pointers. It's reshaping what teamwork looks like in the WNBA.
She's the first rookie to win WNBA Player of the Month since the award's inception in 2010, and last night it was no exception.
If Caitlin Clark somehow wins the WNBA championship this year, she will have put together the greatest rookie season in the history of professional sport.
WNBA Player of the Week. There have only been 40 triple-doubles in the history of the WNBA. Cheryl Swoops recorded the first WNBA triple-double during the 1999 season, while Caitlin Clark logged the most recent triple-double earlier this week.
Dick Weiss posted that more Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever jerseys were sold in one day than the Cowboys sold last year for the entire team.
You know that feeling when you're scrolling through social media and you see someone hyping up their friend? Well, Caitlin Clark took that to a whole new level. She straight up declared her social media a Lexie Hull fan account after Hull went off for 22 points, nailing 6 out of 7 three-pointers. That's not just teammate support, that's next level hype. But here's the thing, it's not just for show. Clark's got Hull's back through thick and thin. Even when Hull's having a tough shooting night, Clark's right there, telling her to keep firing away. And Hull, she's all about it. She said, she's always there to pick me up and tells me to keep shooting. I really value that relationship. That's the kind of support that can turn a player's whole game around. And you know what's even crazier? These two are bringing that energy off the court too. Picture this. It's Hull's birthday, and what does Clark do? She doesn't just sing happy birthday like a normal person.
Their little petty jealousy and sniping at Caitlin Clark is why 2 million people are tuning in to watch Caitlin Clark play basketball and to watch a bunch of other women blow layups every night.
Go out there, compete with her, try to bust her up if you want to, and all of that stuff. Just don't hate on the acclaim that she's getting.
Like from Christmas time through, I mean, we didn't have nearly enough in stock for just the regular jersey t-shirts and whatnot. And then it's just been nonstop orders coming in still today.
She's got one of the hottest selling jerseys in sports, y'all, according to Fanatics, led by the one and only Michael Rubin.
The Atlanta Dream set the record for the biggest crowd to watch a WNBA game in Georgia history.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect.
Nope, she lifts Hull up during the celebration. It's like something out of a sitcom, but it's real life, and it's happening in the WNBA. This isn't just about two players being buddies. It's bigger than that. Their friendship is lighting up the whole team. The Fever had a rough start to the season, but with Clark and Hull leading the charge with their positive vibes, they've pulled off a major turnaround. It's like their energy is contagious, and the whole team's catching it. And let's talk about Clark for a second. She's not just a basketball machine. She's got a playful side that's adding a whole new dimension to the team. During press conferences, she's cracking up at Hull's jokes. It's like watching two best friends who just happen to be pro basketball players. This is the kind of chemistry you can't fake. It's real, it's raw, and it's changing the game. Clark and Hull are showing everyone that basketball isn't just about what happens on the court. It's about the connections you make, the trust you build, and how you lift each other up when things get tough. Think about it. How many times have we seen teams with all the talent in the world fall apart because they couldn't get along?
They were sky high for Caitlin Clark and the Fever, but to start the season, they had a little bit of a rough go of it. They lost their first 5 games. They ended up 1-8 through their first 9 games. And during that first month, the playoffs, they didn't feel realistic at all.
Include Caitlin Clark in the conversation, as I like to do, but we're also going to bring the NFL, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson.
Fans are on the hunt for anything and everything Clark now that she's officially a member of the Indiana Fever.
Indy entered the Olympic break 11-15 on the year, and then they really turned it around. They've won 7 of their 8 since. They clinched a playoff berth for the first time since 2016, which, by the way, was the last year of Hall of Famer and franchise icon Tamika Catchings.
Clark and Hull are flipping that script. They're proving that when you've got each other's backs, you can overcome anything. Bad games, tough losses, pressure from the media. None of it matters when you've got a teammate who's also your biggest cheerleader. While Clark and Hull's friendship is heartwarming, it's Clark's on-court performance that's setting the basketball world on fire. How does breaking multiple WNBA rookie records sound? And that's just the beginning of her impact. Let's talk numbers for a second. Clark's rookie season wasn't just good, it was mind-blowing. We're talking 497 points, 232 assists, 161 rebounds, and 78 three-pointers. That's not just rookie of the year material, that's change the game territory. But here's where it gets wild. Clark didn't just break the WNBA rookie record for assists, she shattered it. Her passing game is so elite, it's like she's got eyes in the back of her head. And those three-pointers, she set a new rookie record for those too. It's like every time she steps on the court, another record falls. You know how people talk about athletes who change their sport, like Michael Jordan or Tiger Woods?
What is going on here? And the thing I love about her, she never says a word. But these ladies who I love and respect their game, they couldn't have f***ed this thing up.
I feel like it's a great accomplishment, but like there's so much more left to be done. Like, yeah, we made the playoffs. There's 6 regular season games.
They got this conversation wrong. The ladies, the active players in the WNBA, they haven't screwed up anything.
Yeah, they're a very dangerous team coming into this postseason. You know, they always tell you that the team that you want to watch out for are the teams that get hot at the right time.
Well, that's exactly what's happening with Clark. She's not just playing basketball, she's redefining what's possible in women's sports. And get this, the fans are going absolutely crazy for her. The Indiana Fever used to struggle to fill seats. Now, sellouts are becoming the new normal. It's like Clark sprinkled some magic dust on the arena or something. But it's not just about ticket sales. Clark's games are becoming must-see TV. When she's playing, everyone's tuning in. The media can't get enough of her. It's like she's single-handedly putting the WNBA in the spotlight. Remember when the Fever started the season 1-8? Most teams would have thrown in the towel, but with Clark leading the charge, they turned things around and became playoff contenders.
Caitlin Clark, Deion Sanders, all in the same boat with historical perspective and knowledge. And more than anything, I'm gonna blast the media.
She now has 102 on the season and is 19 away from Diana Taurasi in second place and 26 away from UNESCO of the New York Liberty.
As for this win streak, though, Caitlin has created 224 points between points scored herself and points assisted. That's almost 45 points per game and the most by any player ever during a 5-game win.
My WNBA Player of the Week, surprise, surprise, Indiana Fever rookie sensation, Caitlin Clark. There's nothing really to say other than that. She's winning Rookie of the Year. She's a top candidate for league MVP, honest.
That's the kind of impact we're talking about. And you know what's really cool? Clark's not just making waves on the court. She's becoming a cultural icon, like that time she showed up at an Indianapolis Colts game with Hull. The internet went wild. It's like everything she does becomes instant viral content. But here's the thing, Clark's not just about flashy plays and viral moments. She's got this infectious energy that's changing the whole vibe of the league. During press conferences, she's cracking jokes and laughing with her teammates. It's like she's reminding everyone that, yeah, this is serious business business, but it's also supposed to be fun. All this buzz around Clark, it's not just hype, it's the sound of the WNBA entering a new era. She's not just a great player, she's a game changer in every sense of the word. The kind of athlete that comes along once in a generation and makes everyone sit up and take notice. With all this star power, you'd think Clark would be plastered across billboards by now. But there's a strange silence coming from one major player in the sports world.
People believe what we say on television. Just because people don't like you or your personality, they can't get on TV and slander you. It's just total bullshit.
Away, and we'll be locked in the whole way through. Here are the first round matchups. Liberty versus the Dream, Lynx versus the Mercury, Sun Fever in the 4-5 matchup, the Aces versus the Storm. But how about the Fever?
Caitlin Clark became the first ever rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-double twice in the same season. In that game, Clark scored her 103-point shot this season, becoming just the 6th woman.
The deal is the richest sponsorship contract for a women's basketball player. She deserves it!
Why is Nike the brand that's all about celebrating athletes, seemingly giving Clark the cold shoulder? You'd expect Nike to be all over Caitlin Clark, right? I mean, she's breaking records, selling out arenas, and basically becoming the face of women's basketball. But here's the thing, Nike's been weirdly quiet about her. It's like they've got this amazing player right in front of them, and they're just not doing anything about it. Fans are starting to notice, and they're not happy. They're looking at Nike's social media, their ads, their everything, and Caitlin Clark is nowhere to be seen. It's like Nike's got their eyes closed, while the rest of us are watching Clark light up the court. Now, let's talk about what Clark's doing off the court. While Nike's sitting on their hands, Clark's out there fighting for better pay for WNBA players. She's not just talking about it, she's coming up with real ideas. Like, she suggested giving players spot bonuses when games sell out. That's the kind of thinking that could change the game for everyone. But here's where it gets frustrating. The UNBA shut down Clark's idea pretty quick. They said something about collective bargaining agreements, but come on, when you've got a star player trying to make things better for everyone, maybe it's time to listen.
Charles Barkley talking about the Caitlin Clark phenomenon and the people he blames for blowing this whole Caitlin Clark deal.
She ain't beating Asia Wilson for the MVP, but she's beating Angel Reese for the Rookie of the Year. That's a wrap. That's over. And props to Angel Reese, who's had a good year, by the way.
They've made Caitlin Clark more interesting. They've made Caitlin Clark the biggest star in American sports.
The hottest team in the WNBA right now is the Indiana Fever. Kelsey Mitchell has been balling. Lexie Hall has been an X factor, and that was a great chess move, just getting this lineup with chemistry.
This whole situation with Nike and Clark, it's not just about one player and one brand. It's shining a light on some big problems in sports marketing. Women athletes just aren't getting the same love as the guys, especially when it comes to endorsements. It's 2023 and we're still dealing with this. The fans aren't having it anymore. They're calling out Nike, they're calling out the league, they're calling out anyone who's not giving Clark and other women athletes the respect they deserve. And you know what? They're right to do it. These players are bringing in big money with sold out games. It's time for the brands to step up. Nike's dropping the ball here, and it's a huge missed opportunity. Clark's not just popular, she's changing the whole vibe around women's basketball. She's got people excited, she's got them talking, she's got them tuning in. Any brand would be lucky to have her as the face of their campaigns. But it's not just about Nike. This is a wake-up call for all the big brands out there. Women's sports are on the rise, and if you're not paying attention, you're going to get left behind. The fans are watching, and they're ready to support the brands that support their favorite players. So what's it gonna take? Do we need to see Clark break every record in the book before Nike realizes what they're missing? Or are they gonna wake up and see the gold mine they're sitting on? Alright, let's talk about how we can change the game for women's sports.
Caitlin Clark tonight.
Gotta watch number 22.
I've been watching Caitlin for a couple of years, and since then I've dreamed about coming to a game.
Clark now has an 8-year, $28 million deal with Nike that will include her own signature shoe.
Clark and Hull are showing us what's possible on the court, but off the court, that's where we come in. Think about it. You know, every time you buy a ticket, every time you share a highlight, you're sending a message. You're telling the big brands and the leagues that we want more of this. We want to see these amazing athletes get the recognition they deserve. So here's what we can do. Show up to games, make some noise on social media, and when you see a brand dropping the ball, call them out. Because here's the thing, the next big play in women's sports isn't happening on the court. It's up to us, the fans, to make it happen. We've got the power to level the playing field. Let's use it.